Welcome to Gaia's Love, a podcast to guide you home into your human journey here on Earth. My name is Vivian Gerard, and it is my delight to co-create with Gaia and share our messages from Source in this now moment. Here we go. Episode 486. It is a Friday here in Cincinnati. We are right in the middle of the Lionsgate portal, the day after the peak of the energy, which was 8/8 yesterday. And I am a little tired. I was just on a call with our Insight Timer community, and so many people were saying the same thing. They're like, oh my goodness. There was just so much beautiful heart activation energy that was moving, I feel like, in bigger ways than ever before around our planet. Lionsgate seemed to be more of a theme, a topic, a buzzword this year than I've ever remembered before. And I think it's because our awareness is shifting, expanding, elevating. There are more and more humans who have the soul really guiding our journeys. And wow, what a beautiful shift this is. And I feel like it's just the beginning. So today we are going to discuss the theme, idea, concept of a journey. The card okay, so let me back up. Last week I described how, or maybe 2 weeks ago, I described how I felt called within the Lionsgate portal to open up these daily energy readings on the Insight Timer app, where I have a community building. And when I decided to do it, I thought this will be fun. I'll get to tune into the my throat today, to the collective energy and share a message, and then support people who are working through their things by pulling cards. And what happened is it became this incredible heart activation for me and for everyone in the community. But my experience of this Lionsgate portal has been extraordinary. Last year it was amazing. I co-created with some beautiful friends, and we had an amazing day. And so I thought, oh, that was great. And then this year, it's the same but in a different way, and it's so great. So we're in the portal still. And what has been happening in that space each day is we all have matches. Someone wants a card reading, I'll pull a card, and maybe we do 3 or 4 in a half an hour. And these messages come through, these beautiful collective messages through individual stories, individual experiences. And so we're all healing. There's been a little guy flying around here this week. We've all been healing. We've all been letting go of old beliefs and stories, and it's just extraordinary what is happening. So each day I pull a collective card before we begin, and today, this morning, just an hour ago, the collective card was traveling. This Osho Zen message of the journey is the point, not the destination, not the fact that you get to the place and then you're the big whatever success, or you arrive. It's the journey that got you to the place that was the whole point of it all along. And so the card says, why do we hurry so much and worry so much? Why don't we enjoy the process? And I believe teachers, healers, mystics, masters have been trying to tell us all of that forever, like as far back as we could probably travel. We have been told the same message: enjoy the moment, be here now. Like all these phrases that we know, we hear, we understand, but then we forget and we don't actually live that way. And to be present in an experience as you're having an experience, wow, like that's mastery of self. I'm working on it. I got a long way to go. But I can feel I can feel how much has expanded for me in this Lionsgate portal, specifically because of the Insight Timer community. They've just been, oh my gosh, showing up in so much love. And then everything that's rippled from that, my other work, my other communities, my family, my friends, the way that I nourish and take care of my own body, my exercising, my animals. There's all these other elements that are being amplified in my life by what has been happening in this community space. So when I was trying to decide, like, what do I even share? how do you bring a whole experience into a quick summary in a podcast? And I guess this is why we have podcasts that keep going. It's because there's always another story. There's always another portal. There's always another next that's going to come through that, that's evolution. We're going to just keep becoming more. And so today, what I am reminded so much of are the journey weekends that I used to have when I first was really deep in my spiritual remembering. And plant medicines were my ally, my guide, my teacher. And so I thought, let's bring some of that energy into this portal at this moment, and we'll see where it goes. So for me, my throat, I apologize in advance, my throat is activating. For some people, their spiritual deepening, remembering, awakening happens through music. They go to a festival or a concert, or they hear a song and somehow, energy ripples, consciousness expands within their humanness. For some people, it's art, creation. A relationship can be an awakening, a divorce can be an awakening, a baby's birth, illness. There's so many ways that our remembering of our vastness, of our soul, of our infinite here in the human journey, it just sort of happens. And sometimes it's soft and gentle, and sometimes it's harsh and abrupt, and sometimes it's quick, and sometimes it takes a long time. And then once we start allowing that energy, that consciousness to move through us, it expands, it becomes more, we become more, we remember more, and the journey takes us where it's going to go. For me, my divorce was the activator, I would say, but then plant medicines became my ally, the way that I navigated remembering. And it's not for everyone. It's not even the same now, I believe, as it was when I was in that experience, which was back in 2014, 15, 16, 17. There were many years where I had lots of journeys, and I'm so grateful for the plants that taught me, the communities that held me, the space holders of each experience, each ceremony. What grace it has been in my humanness to have walked in this way. And so for those who don't know and don't really want to know or need to know or ever want to experience, maybe this isn't the podcast for you. For those who just want to understand a different perspective perhaps on plant medicine journeys, this is my soft, gentle version of how I experience them, which may be very different than others. But here's why it's relevant. I feel like in this specific Lionsgate portal, the parallels with a plant medicine journey are so alive in me, and there's teachings, there's lessons in bridging the two together, and that's what I'm attempting to do here. So for example, I'll go back to the journey where I met Raphael, the sound healer. I did a whole podcast on him years ago. It's called 5 Years Later. You can find it in my tracks, in my podcast episodes. When I first met Raphael, who has since died, when I first met Raphael, we were going to a friend's house, and she was hosting a ceremony, and we were all going to have the sound healing. And then we would have that one night together. We'd have a night to rest, and then we were going to a different person's home, and we were going to have 2 nights of plant medicine ceremony right after that. And so we had this, and it was exactly 9 years ago now. Like right now, I would be at that house having that ceremony. like today. It's so wild. So time. And in the choosing to participate in a ceremony, a journey, there's an activation that happens the moment you say yes, the moment you decide to step into it. And then there's the mini activations that happen along the way as you're getting ready for that weekend. This applies to any festival, retreat, wedding, birth, death, like all of it. There's all the, well, not death really, funeral perhaps. There's all these things that happen along the way, and later looking back, you can go, oh my gosh, the perfection of that person calling and this thing happening and this being awakened in me, you can see it. But when you're in the actual, I call it pre-journey work, when you're in the pre-journey, it just feels chaotic, disjointed, jumbled, like it's all kind of off and you're not quite sure. And then, but things are happening inside of your awareness. That is exactly the time we are in right now before Pluto moves into Aquarius. So I just want to make that bridge of consciousness for all of humanity. Like, we are pre-journeying, deeply pre-journeying right now. And we're always pre-journeying for some astrological shift, but there's a specific frequency that is happening in this time, in this moment. I bet if we looked back before Pluto moved into Capricorn, way back in 2008, we could have seen the rumblings that were happening in 2007. We could have seen what was about to arrive in the collective and individually. You know, if we think about COVID, which was a portal, if we look back at 2019, we can see the pre-journeying that was happening in humanity before COVID actually arrived in our awareness, our consciousness in March, well, January through March. So the pre-journeying is real. We don't always see it until later. And then when we arrive at a ceremony or an experience, we have this activation that starts the moment the community comes together. There's just something. You just know. You're like, whoa, what's happening? What's happening here? And then there's the journey work. Everything that happens while you're in that container. So that's what we've been in here in my community space I've been holding in the Lionsgate portal. That's my reference point that I'm bringing forward. But you'll be able to look at your own journey and go, oh, I can see when the Lionsgate portal opened, like this was the thing that became more present for me. I became more aware of it. And now I'm in it. And so in the portal journey that I'm describing, well, I'll relate it first to the plant medicine ceremony. When, I know I'm all over, but like this is how a journey feels. All the threads make sense, but trying to make it coherent and logical to anyone who's not actually in the portal is like, what? How do I explain it to you? It's so good, it's so amazing, but like you had to be there. But also I want to tell you because you weren't there, and so let me share it. Like that's how it feels. Exactly like a festival, a wedding, a party that's really transformative. A gathering. I used to have these mini events like that at my house when I did new moon circles. There was just a thing that got activated for 2 or 3 hours. We were all together, all this stuff happened, and then you'd leave. Like portal. When I was at the sound healing with Raphael, the heart opening that happened, oh my gosh, like I think it was August 5th, maybe when we met him, 2015. And he just brought this consciousness expansion, fireworks, shooting nova, shooting star, supernova. Like what he brought into my awareness is beyond words. And I knew it in the moment. I just couldn't see the ripples it was going to create. But I knew something had happened. And it was all through sound. It was through his words, his voice, the instruments he played. It was all sound, and so much shifted for me. And we were together, you know, the whole group of us in the living room for hours and hours, and then integrating and talking long into the night. And then the next morning, getting up and eating and resting and integrating and talking some more. And then heading over to another house somewhere a little further away and doing the plant medicine ceremony. And so that was another the energy's shifting, the plant enters, the spirit of the plant enters the space and holds the consciousness, the energy of the group. And so you're surrendering to the wisdom of the consciousness of Gaia, because the plants are her teachers for us, the way I understand it. And so there's this other space holder that manages that portal when you're in a journey. And as a human, it's our choice to step into collaboration and creation in that way. It's our choice to say, I go into this experience and I don't know what it's going to be, but somehow I'm feeling guided to be part of this. And while I'm in this, I surrender fully to it. And I don't know what I'm surrendering to, but I can feel the pull, the magnet. It's like when the soul chooses to come here into the human form with Gaia. We can feel the pull of Gaia. We can feel the magnetism of like, come play here. It's going to be incredible. And also the soul's like, I don't know. I mean, I know, but like, I don't know. And then the human, when we're here, is like, I know nothing. I know nothing. I'm experiencing, I'm traveling, I'm in the journey, I am surrendering, I'm feeling. And that's what a portal journey is like. And with the plant medicine specifically, it's a vibration or frequency that's moving through your body. So you can actually feel the plant, at least I can. You can feel the plant making its way through your body. It's like a live wire that is going to the different places in your body that need soothing or activating or clearing, and then the mind is, trying to understand and work with what is happening in the body. And sometimes the soul is just sitting inside and holding it all steady and giving the words and the construct and showing and teaching, and you're like, yeah, this is the most beautiful, blissful journey experience ever. I can feel how everything is in harmony, everything is in alignment. You've probably had this at a music festival or concert. It's like the group just gets that one favorite song of yours, and the notes are perfect, the speakers are brilliant, the audience is in complete synchronization with that specific vibration of the song, and everything is just, oh, my daughter would say, chef's kiss. It's just perfect. And then sometimes in a journey, plant medicine or festival or whatever consciousness expansion is happening, it's disjointed. It's uncomfortable. We're feeling parts of our body that maybe we haven't sat with in our whole lifetime. The heart is having this thing happen, and you're just like, what? Where was this memory? I don't even remember when someone said that and it hurt my feelings so much, and I've held that in my heart all these years. Or the time that person turned their back on me and I thought that they cared about me, or they said this thing that wasn't true, and then I found out, and we feel. And sometimes it's our actual body. Our body is out of alignment. It's ill, or it's got a massive block and we didn't know, and then in ceremony we can see like, oh my gosh, I have to take better care of my organs. I have to breathe better. My lungs are struggling. My heart is tired. I can see how energy hasn't been moving through my arms because my hands, I haven't been allowing the energy to flow through. And so my hands now, I've got to take better care of them. Like, we start to experience our humanness in a different way. And it's the plants teaching us about ourselves. Because the plants represent Gaia, the consciousness of Gaia, the spirit, the being that is Gaia. And we as humans, 8 billion of us, sit inside of Gaia. We sit inside of her energy field. So, specifically, the one journey I'm describing here, where we met Raphael, and then 2 days later we were in ceremony, plant medicine ceremony. It was very much about community and being next to someone in their moment of awareness and struggle and loving them through it, and seeing each other in our brilliance, in our strength, in our power, in our messiness and in our beauty, and then reuniting. Oh, this feels so sweet to share this with you in this way. I just hadn't seen all the parallels until I'm sitting here seeing the parallels so clearly right now. 9 years later, that's what I'm going to call this podcast. 9 years later. 9 years later. That is so beautiful. I thought it was just about portals in general, but it's a very specific memory that I'm sharing here that is exactly 9 years later and what has been activated in the 9 years. This is a full circle moment that it's being recorded live as I'm feeling, experiencing it, like I have come full circle to a moment of recognition, and I'm so grateful. Oh, so grateful. 9 years ago, I met the people that I would end up doing the majority of my plant medicine ceremonies with, and the ways that they have held me and walked with me through portal after portal, through truth after truth, like just layer after layer of my own awakening. And they've just been so steady and so strong by my side. And we came together. We came together at that weekend. And I feel like in this moment they're handing me it's not quite the right words. It's like a relay race, like a tag, Okay, tag out, tag in. Not that they're leaving, I don't mean it that way, but it's like here's the next phase now. This specific cycle is complete, and there's a new one beginning, and here's the baton, keep going, like next, let's keep moving. So 9 years ago when I met these beautiful humans and really was able to drop into almost immediate deep connection with them, they were soul reunions that happened. Soul reunions. And Raphael died a month later, so that soul reunion shifted into the infinite, not the finite. But the others around me, like we witnessed and walked and celebrated and built a community and exponentially changed all of us in so many ways because of that community. And I feel like the bridge for me right now is that was in the physical. And here we are getting ready for Pluto in Aquarius, which is very much going to be about the technology, the virtual, the communication and connection happening not necessarily in person as much as through technology. The way of the future. Telepathy is the way of the future. Full-on telepathy. We don't even need the communication through technology. It will just happen through telepathy. But we need a bridge. We have to learn how to trust that first. And not everybody trusts that. There will be a day where we call each other up just by closing our eyes and synchronizing. And we're having a conversation. Like, that will happen. I mean, it's happened before, but it will happen again. So, the baton that feels like it's been handed now is, okay, you know how to build in the community space in person. It's time to do it now virtually. And I've tried different ways. Not all of them have felt like they're quite getting it. And this week in the Insight Timer space, I feel like we're getting it. We're doing it. It's actually working. And in a real way. And it's through an app. Like, my human mind just keeps shaking its head like, I don't understand. That was not the plan. That was not how it was supposed to be. What? It was going to happen through your website or Facebook or Zoom or like an app of complete strangers that you've never met before. It's happening through an app. Oh my God. Like, what? How incredible. How perfect. When I look back in hindsight, I will go, oh my God, I couldn't have written it better. How did I know that was going to be the way? But I'm in the journey right now. I'm in the moment. I'm in the unfolding of it. And we can't always see how it's going to play out. So in this Lionsgate portal, I've shown up almost every single day, and I won't tomorrow because we have plans, but I've shown up and really just been fully myself with my heart open wide and connected, listened, supported, loved, received, read energy, left the call, sat, looked at it in my own energy field. I've been journeying through this Lionsgate portal with so much presence and so much awareness. And person after person in this group space have shown up. All my vocab feels off today. Individual after individual has shown up in this group space and met me with their heart, with their things they're working through, with their vulnerability, with their presence. And I'm getting to know people, and they're getting to know me, and we're all really having some fun. And also really healing in this beautiful, delightful way, and expanding, which it's like the best kind of a journey experience, and it's happening in an app. Like how even? I know, I'm puzzling myself about how it's happening, but it is. And it's gorgeous. And so I say all of this not because you have to be part of this community in the app, although I think you should. I think everybody should. And maybe it's not my community. Maybe it's another community in the same app. There are so many beautiful teachers and healers that are building community through Insight Timer. Like, it's not just me. There are so many. So the app could bring you lots of community. But it's also, for you, I would invite you to question, like, what has this portal been showing you? What ways are you feeling consciousness expanding during this time? And maybe it's with your body, with health. Maybe it's through your relationship. Maybe it's through your engagement with the world. You'll know what it is that has been sort of the theme. And when you can look back and unravel the theme, expand upon it, so many pieces start to come together in a way that we don't see always when we're right in the middle of it. It took me a long time to integrate what happened at that plant medicine ceremony weekend, and before that, the sound healing with Raphael. It took me a long time to integrate what happened then and to actually apply it to my life, to walk with the changes I knew I needed to make and stand in them and be confident in the choices I made. I blew up my life when we got back. Raphael died in September, and I walked away from community as I had immersed myself in it in November. And then I started my business. I cried and I was just in a cocoon in December. And then in January I started my own business, and I've been walking ever since then. So I don't even know how much of that made sense, but it was clearly an activation for me, and I'm so grateful I showed up so I could receive this. I guess that's one of the biggest things too, right? We choose to show up. We choose to step into portals. We choose to be aware of them. And then these things happen. These connections, these heart openings, consciousness expanding. It happens because we made that choice. So I don't even know. We're still in it. The portal's not over. As I record this, it's Friday, and the portal closes on Monday. Why? I don't know, because that's what everybody agrees the portal opens and closes on. I mean, I don't even know how we know some of this stuff. It's just a collective decision, and we all sort of go into it, and then that's what it becomes, and suddenly we're writing this thing that we all agree on. So this portal will close on Monday. If what I'm saying resonates, I just want to tap into that for a moment. Come join the event. The next session we'll have is on Sunday at noon Eastern on Insight Timer. I believe the app is free, but then some people say you have to have a free trial and then you buy it. I don't know. It's $60 a year. Like, the value, and I don't get any of that. So that's, I mean, indirectly they pay me, but I don't get your $60 if you sign up for it. So this is not me saying sign up for the app. It's me saying sign up for the community, sign up for the experience, show up for yourself in these spaces, and oh my God, what you will receive will change your life. From all the teachers, there's so many beautiful people there. So we're going to meet on Sunday at noon Eastern, and then we'll have a closing of the portal on Monday at 5 p.m. And then next week we're going to gather on Friday for in the Insight Timer community space for the full moon in Aquarius, which I feel like I want to sort of deposit that as the next portal, the next pre-journeying that's happening before Pluto moves into Aquarius. The full moon in Aquarius on Monday the 19th, I feel is the turning of the wheel that is aligning us. It's a gear that's shifting us even more in sync with Pluto moving into Aquarius in November for 20 years. It's the turning of the wheel to help us lock into it. Pluto will still be going into Capricorn September and October and half of November before it starts in Aquarius. So there's still some rumblings of other energies, but we're starting to lock in. The pre-journey work is really intensifying. And we could be afraid, or we could be like, wow, I wonder why this is happening. I wonder how that's connected. Fascinating. And when we're just in that curious space, we see the magic more clearly. So, anything else I would add? Yeah, when we're in a journey, like a plant medicine journey weekend, there's waves, currents of energy, and we kind of are just riding the waves, and there's these peaks, and then there's these integrations, and it's just like the current is taking us through a process that we aren't always fully aware of. And so for many of us, we peaked in the Lionsgate portal on 8/8, which was yesterday. The full alignment of Sirius, Earth, the Sun, and Orion was like laser focused, precise yesterday. And now we're sort of like, okay, what was that, and how do we integrate that? But we're still in the portal for a few more days. So you're going to have these amazing ahas and conversations and synchronicities, and it's still, the energy is still so potent, and it's still moving so powerfully for all of us, whether you're conscious to it or not. If you're watching this, you're probably conscious to it. So really be patient and kind with yourself and with others. There's a lot being activated, and love each other because we're one human species within Gaia that are all in this collective frequency shift together. So be really kind if you can over the next few days in particular. I also am having a monthly attunement meditation this week on Sunday. So if you really feel like I need support, like there's a lot, and I want to attune my mind, my body, my soul within a specific container, that is available. It's $111 on Sunday. It's an experience you claim for yourself like you would a massage or chiropractor appointment or whatever you give your self-care money to. Like that's where you would be putting it for yourself. And it's live on Zoom. Videos get turned off. You just see me, and I guide you through this process of attuning. And then you have the recording for a year. So that's at 10 a.m. on Sunday. It will go for an hour. The link is on my website under, where is it? It's under You and Me, Meditations, and then Sunday Attunement. Or in my store, you can find it. So come join me if you feel like you need support, or come join us over in the app and have some fun there. Rest, take care of yourself, celebrate this life. It is just the most incredible gift. So much love. Thank you for tuning into this vibration of pure love. Let's take this message of Gaia's love out into all of our relationships and communities today. So much love from my heart to yours.